What types of contracts do you have for working with large clients? How do you enforce these contracts? Contracts. I told you early on that that was the first thing that we spent any money on. We hired a lawyer to write us these contracts. We hired probably a way too expensive lawyer, and we probably could have done it slightly differently, because I realized something about contracts. Contracts are one part legal, protection. They are important, but they're also one part not irrelevant, but I think the relationship is much more important than the contract. There are cases where I'm not going to, for example, if I say in my contract that you have to pay within 30 days, I am not going to stop working if you don't pay me within 30 days, because we learned in the very first quarter, when 30 days came and went, or whatever the timing came and went, and we hadn't been paid yet, we learned that a contract isn't always something that's 100% enforceable to the T. It's still important because it can still protect you, but I'm not going to walk away from a very big client just because they pay late, because this happens honestly all the time. And if you're getting into business, you need to know that you have to have an emergency cash buffer, because it's not if you'll be paid late, it's when you'll be paid late. So it's a very interesting balance between making sure that you have that legal protection. What we'll do is we'll have an SOW, which is a statement of work. And this is in the case where we're working directly with clients. We have a statement of work, which is just very clear list of these are the tasks that we will be doing for you. I also did learn an important lesson with this one. Be as specific as you possibly can be, and do still hire. I mean, even if you write the contract yourself, or say you go to LegalZoom or DocStock or any of these other resources for documents, I think it's still at least hire a lawyer for a couple of hours, spend the money to have them look it over and make sure you're not leaving yourself open to really big potential issues. But be as specific as you can. With one of our clients, I realized maybe a little bit too late that I wasn't being very specific in the information that I had put in my statement of work, which is what we would complete. And then with the statement of work, we have a service agreement, and that's the one that was really written up by the lawyer. And that's all the legal jargon of protection and the way that we'll work together. And I think you can probably find a template for that on a site like LegalZoom. And again, have a lawyer look it over. But with this one particular client, I wasn't clear. I wrote the statement of work. I wasn't particularly clear on what it would be. And so they would come back and they would ask for a little bit more and a little bit more. And I would just give it to them because I wasn't, it wasn't necessarily clear. It might have been, I could probably have argued with it or gotten it further, but be really clear. And then if it is a client service business, if they come back and ask for more, you have to don't say, yes, I'll do it. You have to say, okay, sure, let me get you an addendum to the statement of work, and I'll send that over to you and you can sign off on it, and then we'll do this additional work. Because so many people get caught up just wanting to please the clients. I fell into this, and they do work that's not in their contract, or the contract wasn't clear. So say, I will send you an addendum, write up an addendum, just say this attaches to this statement of work, this attaches to this service agreement, and make sure you have that in place before you do the work, because they will pressure you, they will want it right away, and you feel the need to just do it. But you absolutely need to push back and just friendly, say, let me do this. Sometimes it helps to have a different person. If you're the main client contact, sometimes it's helpful to have somebody else on your team, if you have someone who can manage that, and say, oh, let me just loop you back to this person if you're nervous about that.